All right, this is our last video on using one license, at least for now. So we've gone through how to report, how to find songs, add them to a report, how to create and manage lists, things like that. The last thing I want to show you is how to use the resources that are in it. If you need to create a new song in ProPresenter, it's not integrated like CCLI is, the song select. So it's not quite as useful, but it still beats having to type in all the words. So I'm going to add Flow River Flow by Bob Hurd, one that I haven't ported to ProPresenter yet. So I've done the search and found the song. And you can see that we have these resources. There's a preview, so I can preview that to see, like, okay, is this the right song? This is also useful, like you can click on the preview if you're checking phrasing and things like that. So we might come back to that as we edit in inside ProPresenter. GIF and PDF are going to be similar things, but they're downloads. Oops, I hit it twice. This is going to be a high resolution version that and the reason they have this is, like, if we were creating a song book for Vigil or something like that, where we wanted to have it in a physical copy. Okay. But the one we're going to use for ProPresenter is this text file, TXT. And that's going to be a version that we can bring into ProPresenter. So I'm going to go ahead and download that by clicking on TXT. You can see it downloads it, and it will open up the file so we can see it. And here is the text as well as all the copyright information. Okay. And it's in a format that we can bring right in to ProPresenter, but it'll be a little easier for us to clean up some things ahead of time. So you can see it uses the term refrain. We generally use chorus in inside of ProPresenter. And then the verses, it just has numbers here, so it doesn't really say that it's verses. It also doesn't say that this is a title slide. So here is the way you can do some quick cleanup, and then we'll bring the text file into ProPresenter. Okay, so first I'm going to copy the title, because what I want to do is an intro slide. So I'm going to type in, I'm leaving the title at the top so that it will name the song correctly. But I'm going to go intro and then paste that. So it's got, in our intro slide, we'll have that, the name of the song, Bob Hurd. I'm going to change refrain to chorus. And then I'm going to come and add verse, but I'm going to put that on its own line. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing for verse 2. Verse 3, might just be easier to do it that way. And that should be a good arrangement here. The other thing we want to do is, just for consistency and just our style guide, we're getting rid of all the excess punctuation. So definitely want to get rid of the punctuation at the line breaks. So I'm just going to, and it looks like there's a couple extra spaces. So I want to get rid of any excess. Okay. Okay. I would also typically, like, if there's punctuation in the middle, we'd get rid of that as well. But well, I'll go ahead and get rid of it. There are times where that would still be useful. Here's an example where I would probably leave a comma. If I'm going to leave flow, river, flow, flow over me, I don't know if I'm going to do this, but if I leave that as one line, that's where a comma in the middle would make sense to show that it's breaking up. But if it's a comma just for the sake of proper punctuation, like after, like I, the Lord, proper English grammar would be I, comma, the Lord. When we sing I, the Lord of sea and sky, that punctuation doesn't do anything to help the singing. We would get rid of that. But here, I think it would assist the singing. So I'm going to leave that middle punctuation. All right. Now, I could save this file and import from the text file, but I think it's actually just easier since it's already open here. I'm going to just do Command A for select all, or you could click and drag. Okay. Copy this. Now it's in our clipboard. So now I'm going to go over to ProPresenter. And I'm going to go to File, Import, and instead of from File, I'm going to do Text from Clipboard, because that's what we just copied. Okay. And we go through our normal import process. So we want to set the delimitation. Because I'm not as familiar, you know, I haven't sung this song in a decade. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change this to paragraph break 1, because I'm going to just bring in the entire stanzas and then I'm going to break it up to see where it should be. And we want this to go in our shared songs. We're not going to put it in a playlist, but if I hit edit now, you can see it brings in the title properly. But, you know, it does still do some wonky things here. So, because it's from a clipboard. So we don't need this first slide. So I'm just going to, over on the slide here, I'm going to 2-finger tap on it, delete that. We just need our intro slide. You can also see it doesn't bring in the author properly. So I'm just going to select Bob Hurd from here, paste that in. But it does have all the copyright information. We want to make sure then display copyright, because we're bringing it in and we want to display that copyright information. And you can see it brings in, you know, verse 1 is a complete thing. Too much text for one slide. We're going to fix that in a minute. But verse 2, verse 3. All right, we want to add our blank slide at the end. So option return or insert slide break. And then change this to group blank. Okay. Again, that's just our convention here at Holy Family. All right. And then we can select import. And we'll fix the line breaks now. So we could do it if we know exactly what it is. We could do it in that view. But let's go ahead and make our adjustments to our title slide. So we want to make the title all caps by the style all caps. And then make the author 90. Okay. So the chorus, I think, is fine. You know, 3 lines is fine. We don't need to break this up into multiple. But this is where we can go back and remember I showed you that preview. Or we can even, we downloaded the GIF. We can just have that open rather than. So I'm just going to set this off to the side here. Go back to ProPresenter. And just kind of shrink this down and go to the reflow editor. So I can kind of, at least kind of see here on the side. Just a few things here. Okay. And this is where we would look at, you know, how is the text here. So we can even move this over a little bit. Okay. So river flow. Easily a line break if we wanted to do this, got enough time and space. But if we wanted to keep it on one slide, we can. So river flow, so over me, oh living water, poured out for free. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep it on one slide. You could break this up, but I'm going to keep it in one slide for now. But now let's look at the verses, though. We do want to change this. You will be mine. Yep, line break. And I will be your God. Yeah, that would be, actually, is that actually a line break? This is where we could also go back to the text file. Yes, it was a line break. Okay, so let's do a slide break after that first one. And then, again, by convention, we'll just... actually, the phrasing, because that's a complete sentence. You will be mine and I will be your God, for I will wash you clean. Let's make that actually the 3 lines and then the slide break. That makes more sense. Okay. But by convention, we'll do that poetic style where it's capitalized at the front. Okay. And a new heart. Heart flush the feeling. This one, I do think we want to break into 2 slides with 2 lines. Just looking at the phrasing and to get it all onto, Okay, so that's how the verses would go. And typically then, we would make it the same for the other verses if it's in this kind of exactly the same verse. So we'll just clean that up. And we could have done this in the text file itself and saved us a step, but I wasn't sure, so we're doing it here. So, okay, so this one, the phrasing is a little bit different. So give, the drink I will give, is where I think we want to put the line break. That's where the held note is. Okay, and on the first one, it's whoever drinks the water I will give. And this is, again, just to keep the phrasing similar. Okay. And then, this last line is a little bit long because of the longer syllables. That's probably fine to have it spill over with the 2 words. So, eternal life. Yeah. So I think that is good. Okay. So there is our phrasing and, the slide breaks. So now we'll just make our final arrangement. Okay. So we're going to go here, and our default, the way, adding the song as it's written, we call full. If we're doing an arrangement by a particular artist, we could name it by that. But anyway, so full. And this is just going to be a basic chorus, verse, chorus, verse. So we'll just add the chorus in between the verses. And there we go. We are done entering this song from the text file from one license. So you can see that's a little faster than going through and entering the text by hand. Okay, so I hope this helps. And let's get caught up on our copyright reporting. Make sure we're doing that every week, or at least catching up within a week or 2. But if you just get in the habit of reporting every week that you do a mass, then we'll be in great shape and have good just being in good practice, and make sure the artists get paid their due. Okay, and as always, if you have any questions, reach out to me. You can also leave a comment on any of the videos down below.